Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're tackling something absolutely huge. We are undertaking one of the most vital transitions you can make in your journey, moving from simple self-awareness to the intentional, deliberate design of your life. The source material makes this really fascinating point right off the bat. Self-awareness is great, sure, but it's literally just step one. We've got to take that understanding and turn it into actionable direction. Think of what we're doing today as looking at an architectural blueprint. I mean, an architect doesn't just daydream about a building, right? They design the structure, the phases, the deep foundation, and we are about to do exactly that with your life.
Okay, let's dive into this. What am I here to do? It is the ultimate, universal question, isn't it? It's the question that pulls us away from just endlessly chasing empty success and pushes us towards seeking a deeply engineered purpose instead. Philosophers, creators, leaders, they've all wrestled with this. It's that exact moment when you realize that just checking off society's little boxes usually leaves you feeling pretty empty. Because without a defined purpose, our goals just lack weight, and any wealth we build is just temporary. Ultimately, we are all looking for significance.
So, to construct this life architecture, here is the comprehensive blueprint we'll be unpacking today. Discovering your true meaning, engineering your motivation, utilizing the goal validation matrix, designing your life strategy, and finally, navigating your life roadmap.
Step 1. Discovering your true meaning. This is where we lay the foundation.
To lay a really solid foundation, the source material stresses that we have to separate simple external achievements from true significance. You know, people so often confuse happiness with meaning. But here's the thing. Happiness is just a temporary emotion. It comes, it goes, it's totally based on your circumstances. Meaning, on the other hand, is the deep, enduring significance you actually assign to your existence. It's the anchor. It's the emotional fuel that sustains your life's architecture during the absolute hardest, most painful seasons.
And honestly, meaning isn't just something you luckily stumble upon. The text breaks it down almost like a literal math equation, and this brilliantly illustrates how the pieces fit together. It's generated by combining your purpose, relationships, personal growth, contribution, and reflection. If you remove even one variable, your foundation gets wobbly. But if you actively strengthen all of them, your sense of meaning deepens profoundly.
All right, moving on to step 2, engineering your motivation, or as I like to call it, installing the power system.
To power this whole building, we really need to disrupt a massive self-help myth right here and now. Motivation is not some fleeting feeling you just sit around waiting for. Look at how it's defined here. It's the psychological and emotional energy that initiates, directs, and sustains action. So the crucial point is that we are completely pivoting away from treating motivation as this magical external spark. Instead, we're treating it as an internal, engineered capability. You don't chase it, you build a system that naturally produces it.
So how on earth do you actually build that system? Well, when you align your identity and purpose with visible progress and strong relationships, you generate sustainable fuel. And here is the really surprising takeaway. Action actually comes before motivation. Seriously, you don't wait to feel motivated to do something. Taking the action creates progress, and that progress generates the momentum you need to keep the whole engine running.
Which brings us to step 3, the goal validation matrix. Consider this our strict quality control phase. You know, a huge trap in life is spending years, literally expending massive amounts of energy, climbing a mountain, only to get to the top and realize you climbed the wrong one. Yikes, right? To prevent that, before any goal is allowed into your blueprint, it has to pass this signature matrix. You have to ask yourself, does this reflect who I actually want to become? Does it honor my core principles? Am I truly willing to pay the hidden cost? The time, the stress, the trade-offs, and finally, will it create lasting value beyond just myself? Every single goal demands your life energy, so it absolutely must be strictly validated.
Running your goals through this matrix leads to 4 possible actionable outcomes. You might decide to commit fully, you might need to redesign a flawed structure, or maybe you just delay it for a better season. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that 4th option, reject. Actually, rejecting a misaligned goal is just as strategic and honestly just as much of a victory as committing to a good one. Letting it go actively protects your time and your overall blueprint.
Zooming out to step 4, designing your life strategy. This is the big picture, the master plan.
With our validated goals firmly in hand, let's move to and see how this builds out over time. We have to shift our focus from isolated, single goals to an integrated, long-term master strategy where every part of your life connects. See, our roadmap isn't static. It evolves beautifully through these distinct seasons of life. In your early decades, you're in the foundation phase. That's all about prioritizing learning. Then you move into building things like your career and family, shifting later into the expansion of your influence, and finally, focusing on your legacy and wisdom. Your strategy absolutely has to adapt as your priorities naturally mature.
But here's the catch. Throughout all those seasons, these 7 strategic foundations have to be managed simultaneously. I mean, think about it. You cannot build a brilliantly successful career if it structurally destroys your health or wrecks your relationships in the process. Life is a fully integrated project. You have to actively allocate resources to your identity, your knowledge, your contribution, and your family all at once to maintain the structural integrity of your life's architecture.
And finally, step 5, navigating your life roadmap. This is where we are handing over the keys to you.
We are now bringing the focus all the way in. We're taking this grand, multi-decade strategic vision and transforming it into an everyday, adaptable project management system for human life. To navigate day-to-day, you operate across 4 nested planning horizons. By nesting these timeframes, your daily habits and execution feed directly into your monthly projects, which then drive your major annual progress, which ultimately constructs your lifetime legacy. It ensures that every single tiny daily action is structurally connected all the way upward to your highest purpose.
And this right here is the life navigation engine in motion. It's so important to remember that life is not a rigid, unchangeable path that you just plan out once and blindly follow. No way. It is a continuous loop. You execute daily, you track your progress, you reflect on what's working, you course correct when you inevitably hit a roadblock, and you constantly redesign the roadmap. That incredible adaptability, that's what creates true, lasting resilience.
This summary perfectly captures the core architectural principle of the entire source material. Just look at how all these elements perfectly interlock. Vision gives you inspiration. Purpose gives you direction. Goals organize the actual work. Strategy connects all the moving parts. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it is your daily action that actually builds the structure. That is exactly how abstract dreams transform into constructed, concrete realities.
To wrap up our explainer today, I want to leave you with a rather haunting, provocative thought drawn directly from the text. If tomorrow never came, would today have reflected the person I want to be? Really let that sink in for a second. Don't just sit around waiting for motivation to magically strike you. You have the blueprint now. It is time to start validating your goals and intentionally engineering your purpose starting today. Thanks so much for joining me for this, and I challenge you to start drafting your master plan right now.